Hello everybody, and just here, and welcome back to Unnamed Memory, episode 5, in which... I don't know. I honestly don't know what exactly is going to happen. Maybe something with the new country that was established by mages, something like that, maybe, hopefully, we'll see. In the previous episode, what exactly happened in the previous episode? Well, a country has been established that's run by mages and led by the dude who went after the two random people, the boy and the girl, who are like timeline keepers and stole the monster gem from the wolf that Tinasha killed. Right, that dude apparently leads a brand new country of mages. Cool. One of the envoys of that country arrived to Oscar's court and wanted to see Tinasha. Tinasha, meanwhile, did not want to see him. So he started planning how to get her, something like that, and he mind controlled what was her name? Meredina, I think. Mind controlled Meredina, who went on to insult Tinasha, but thankfully Lucrezia noticed that she's just mind control, and she broke the mind control, so everything is fine. And then there is what's her face? I don't have. I know only Oscar and Tinasha have faces on AniList apparently. The girl who is the timekeeper or whatever you want to call her, she apparently is now a maid in Oscar's court, and Tinasha recognized that she's someone important, and thus the maid is now allowed to take part in Oscar's like war room debates. So that's interesting when that happened. And the girl apparently also went after the envoy and killed him with the wolf that she managed to restore from the wolf gem. That's also something that happened. And one of the generals, who apparently is the reason that the girl is here, died. And that somehow meant that one of the one of the younger generals, I forgot his name, is supposed to be or should be brought up to speed about Oscar's condition, about his curse, at least according to Lazar. So now he knows. Cool. And the maid is part of his royal court, or like immediate royal court. Apparently, that's also a thing. I don't know, a lot of stuff happened that I have no doubt was explained in the source material, but just kind of came out of nowhere in that episode. But I was glad about one thing with the previous episode. Thanks to the introduction of that new country that seems to have beef with Oscar's country, we might actually see some like proper plot in this show, right? Because so far it's been fairly episodic, right? Oh, there's a monster in the forest, let's go to the forest and kill the monster. That's mostly what it's been. But now that there's a threat of a different country, perhaps a threat of war, a threat of espionage, we might actually see like a proper arc, like mage country arc or something that might end with the leader of that country getting defeated by Oscar, because Oscar has been brought up, created. He's been taught and molded by Tinasha to be the perfect anti-magic soldier, right? She's been training with him for, I believe you guys told me it was like month straight, something like that. Wait, have I just recapped episode 3? And episode 4 was just training? Or has so much happened in episode 4 that it felt like 2 episodes? Shit, I'm not sure anymore. I'm not sure anymore. But yeah, Oscar is trained good by Tinasha. I think that training might actually have happened in episode 3. I'm not sure anymore. Holy shit, is it something wrong with my memory? With my unnamed memory, or is it... Regardless, we have a potential for actual plot now. We have a potential for Oscar actually being the ultimate anti-magic soldier, showing off his anti-magicness against the country of mages. So, yeah. What do I expect from today's episode? I'm not sure, honestly. It could either be a declaration of war, it could be some espionage, or it could be nothing whatsoever, because wars are not waged this quickly. So, so we'll see what exactly happens, right? And to do that, you will of course need your subs to follow along with me. I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on in the show. I'm gonna have to brighten up the camera a little bit, I think. Yeah, I think that's better. And I'm gonna have to ask you for support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, YouTube down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word, costs you nothing, helps a lot. And with that, we can start watching episode 5 of Unnamed Memory in 3, 2, 1, go. Dungeons. Ancient ruins. Right, her name is T. Are we in the past? I think we're in the past. She's probably like a freshly made witch. Perhaps even he created her in one way or another. Dream or memory? Is that the unnamed memory? Maybe. Could very well be. I have a feeling that Tinasha might have actually been... Tinasha 80 might have actually been created by that dude. Either through some sort of a... I don't know, ritual or something, her being an artificial being? Probably not. Or more likely is that he kidnapped a random girl with potential and molded her into the perfect witch through upbringing, maybe some forbidden rituals or what have you. That's the vibe I'm getting, at least. He seems significant, that's for sure. Not just significant to the world either, in that he's the leader of a country of mages, but significant specifically to Tinasha and her backstory, whatever it might be. Yeah, unnamed emotion. A declaration of war? Oh? Did she find a potential candidate? Is it the maid? Yeah, Miralis, that's her name. Interesting. Why has it been sealed? And most importantly, when has it been sealed? Interesting. Yeah, that's precisely and exactly fair. Yep. I mean, we know that he probably would rather prefer Tinasha, and nothing's gonna happen with between him and Miralis. But sure, I mean, it's something worth pursuing. I guess she wants to give you and Miralis some space. Yeah, sure. He probably doesn't want to make any other choice by now, I would say, but it's fair to have more options. What are you analyzing? Hmm. Oh. I guess you can just get in easily. Break what? Miralis's seals? I assume that. Oh, no, the blessing. I thought she was trying to break the seals that are placed on Miralis so that she can have enough magical potential to be able to withstand pregnancy. But maybe the seals don't need to be broken because her innate magic is, like, enough. Get to the kitchen, women! What was that comment? Oh, that took me by surprise. Make me dinner. uh, and nothing turned out. Right, the power goes between people. Hmm. Probably neither. If she was after the kingdom, she would not be trying to sabotage the efforts of the envoy from the magic country, right? Sure, I guess. Oh, is Oscar gonna be jelly? He's absolutely gonna be jelly. Yep, look at his face. uh, is that the unnamed emotion? Jealousy. That's the title of this episode, isn't it? No, nothing's wrong, Babaka. Why? Huh? All right. Yeah, well, that sounds a little bit rapey, doesn't it? I already didn't like Oscar much, and now. Yeah. What the fuck, my dude? The fuck kind of a psychopath are you? The fuck kind of a psychopath are you, dude? Oh, I'm just gonna, handcuff you and carry you to my bedroom, telling you that I'm gonna rape you just to scare you a little. What the fuck, Oscar? And now we're just completely brushing it off as a tihi moment. At least take the fucking handcuff off. Oh, so was Miralles after Oscar after all? That's a little much, like she's not at fault for anything. And I guess that's her magic being unsealed. Take the fucking thing off, would ya? No? No, you're just not going to. Okay, sure. Okay, thank you for doing that. About fucking time. Well, that's the first we hear of it. What the fuck is going on anymore? He has Acacia. Duh. Who's better suited to fight someone who has magic? Exactly. If it's a magic beast, then chances are it stands no chance against Acacia. Please do, then. Yeah. To interrogate her. What even is your deal, Miralis? And you take the front lines. Yep, makes sense. Right, give her the time to finish her chant. Yeah, that's fair. That's magic. That should be easily broken by Acacia. That was smart, yeah. Left hand? Is he like left hand dominant and so far he's been holding back? Maybe. Oh, he grabbed. Oh, okay. Makes sense. Kinda. Because isn't it. Isn't. Oh, was that a sphere that he already had? Or did he grab one of Miralis's spheres? Because if it's the latter, then would the sphere explode without her ordering that sphere to explode? That's black magic. That's bad juju. Be rid of meaning. I love this phrase. That's a cool chant. Be rid of meaning. Oh, I guess she got captured into a Pokeball. Or not, or she escaped. Where what is? Something from the treasury? Something from the treasury. What though? Is it like a resurrection thing that will allow you to resurrect your partner, dude? Or what is it? What even is your agenda? And what is that thing? What? What? Sure. All right. Yeah, you better fucking be. Oh? An unnamed memory that he cannot bring forth, probably. You never asked. I mean, you can have a kid without getting married. Man. What the fuck was this episode? Uh. What the hell was this episode? I hope this shit gets explained. I hope it does, but I don't expect that it does, if that makes any sense. We'll see. We'll see. And the next episode is As the Abyss is Born. Alright. let's watch this one again and try to dissect it. And really just try to... I don't want to say try to figure out what's going on, because I don't think we have enough to go off to even begin trying to figure shit out. But let's at least try to dissect it and figure out at least what happened exactly. We have this dude. Do we even have his name? I don't think we do, or do we? No, that's Mysterious Disappearances, that's Unnamed Memory. Valdemir Alice, we know those names. Yeah, I have him noted down as a white-haired dude, so I'm just gonna continue this naming convention. A white-haired dude is Tinasha's former master slash mentor slash created her. That's the vibe I'm getting. That he may be... The most likely explanation is that he got Tinasha or Eti from somewhere. Maybe she was kidnapped, maybe he created her, maybe she's his daughter, something, right? And then he molded her into being the perfect witch or something along those lines. And yeah. And she has very bad memories about it, and very bad memories with being carried off somewhere against her will, so he probably was not a gentle master. Miralis is still around, yeah. And of course Tinasha wants to give him options, which makes perfect sense, right? Because, I mean, even just on the off chance that something happens to Tinasha, it's best that he has some options, right? Witch life is dangerous life. She might have to face God sometime, and her soul is going to be vaporized in the holy fire. Could very well happen. So it's best for Oscar to get options, and it's best for Tinasha to figure out those options while she's still here, while she still has the time to do so. Makes perfect sense. Good. Miralis's magic passes down... Miralis's family passes magic through the bloodline, so whenever a member of the family dies, their magic gets redistributed throughout... Well, not redistributed, it goes down to generation, so if you're like the last descendant, for example, you possess all of the magic of the whole family. Interesting concept. And yeah, I mean, King is correct here, right? Everyone's doing what they can for your sake. Everyone's trying to help you. Don't be pissy about it. Everybody is trying their best to solve the problem, to solve the fucking curse, and you're just being a big fucking bitch about that. No, I want Tinasha. I want Tinasha, nobody else. No. I want McDonald's, 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 McDonald's. It does kind of feel like Oscar is behaving like that every now and then. And, I mean, at this point, where such a heavy curse is placed upon you that you cannot have heirs, and you kinda have to have heirs if you want your royal family to continue, you take the very first fucking woman who can withstand that, you impregnate her, and you get a fucking descendant. You don't need to make her your wife. You can make her your fucking royal consort or whatever. Doesn't matter. Many a king had descendants from out of wedlock. Many a king. So it's, no big deal. And when you secure that, when you secure that the bloodline continues, when you secure that the kingdom lives on even after your death, then you can look for the true love. Be my guest. Spend the rest of your life trying to woo Tinasha for all I care. But what matters the most right now is to secure the future of your motherfucking country. So you should not be pissy about it. And also, don't be arrogant and try to solve it all on your own. Oscar really has a tendency to just fuck off on his own and do whatever. Any sort of consequences be damned. Magic has been sealed away by her mother, twofold seal. Meanwhile, Tinasha is trying to decipher the blessing. I thought that she's trying to figure out the seals that were placed on Miralis, because we know that a person has to have a lot of magic strength, a lot of magic power to be able to bear a child to Oscar, and since her magic is sealed away, I thought that Tinasha is working towards unsealing it. And maybe that's gonna bring some unforeseen consequences. Maybe it's gonna turn out that Miralis is the Witch of Silence, but lost her memories, or... Right, I thought there's gonna be something about Miralis, that she's not going to be a wasted character. Well, oh boy, how wrong I was. You may be a witch, but more importantly, you're a human. She rarely behaves as such. Comes together beautifully despite it complex. I mean, yeah, it's a very complex, frightening curse. Really makes me wonder what was the true purpose behind this blessing. Was it actually genuinely just a scorned lover? Or is there something else? Is there, I don't know, a prophecy that this bloodline will bring calamity to the land or whatever? Maybe. And the Witch of Silence tried to prevent that. Sure, I can see that happening. It could be that there was a prophecy or something that, oh, the family will be a family of witch slayers or something, and she didn't want to die, so she sealed them away to extinguish that bloodline, to not create a bloodline of witch slayers. Maybe something like that. Actually. Witch of Silence cursed the Farsas family. Farsas family because she was scared of what they can become. There is also the very mysterious mother of Oscar. Could it be that his mother was a witch? Maybe it's a taboo between witches to bear children? It's not, because if it was, then Lucrezia would not be urging Tinasha to just give in. I don't think. Unless Lucrezia is just completely off the grid, she doesn't belong to a witch's coven or whatever. If such a thing exists in the first place. This is just fucking gold. Whenever you're free, make me dinner. Oh, Oscar. Oh, Oscar. God damn it. Just as I started to think that he might be, growing, he might be getting better, a little bit more likable, a little bit less selfish, right? He understands his position, that he's needed, he shouldn't be going off on his own, trying to be a hero, yada yada yada, he gets responsible. Now he just jumps out with fucking "make me dinner, women." and follows through with, oh, you don't want to have sex with me? Well, then I'm gonna scare you with rape to have sex with me willingly. Like, what? It's not a laughing matter, but I can't help but just laugh at the sheer fucking ridiculousness of it. We couldn't find anything tying her to him. Yeah. She has no background, so we're getting suspicious. No woman who had as much power as Miralis does now. So are her seals slowly breaking, or what? She's hiding something. I don't know whether she's after the fastest royal family or whether she wants to drag me away from this place. Why is your immediate assumption that it's either of those two? Has Miralis really given you a reason to believe either of those? Maybe in the source material she did. Maybe. But as it is right now, right at this very moment, my first assumption when it comes to Miralis, I know that she came here to the palace. She was vetted by one of the most trusted generals. She came here, she's working here as a maid, and she has some sealed magic within her. Sealed by her mother. My first immediate assumption, she's in hiding. She's a member of a long-lived family of mages, or a long-lived royal family or something. Her mother, the family got attacked, wiped out, whatever, and in their last moments, her mother cast the seal on her, deleted her memories, or maybe didn't, put her on a boat, set her to sail down to save her. And as Miralis was sailing away with her magic sealed, being a normal, regular human girl, the mother got stabbed dramatically and the whole palace went up in flames or whatever, right? And now Miralis is the last heir of some long-lasting bloodline of mages, hiding here as a maid because she doesn't want to bring attention to her, because she doesn't want the assassins to go after her, yada 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 yada, right? That would be my very first assumption. Not, she must be plotting against the kingdom or against me. Unless I was simply not given the complete picture of it, which is entirely possible seeing how much this series seems to be skipping the source material. I honestly, genuinely was hoping that Miralis' story will go in this direction. Right? That she's one of the timeline keepers, or whatever, and now she's hiding here in the palace. She's hiding from the white-haired dude because she knows that here she is safe. There's Tinasha to protect her, there's Oscar to protect her. The white-haired dude will not dare to attack this place. That was my initial assumption. She's just hiding here. But apparently not. Apparently she wanted a red ball, and then when she observed that red ball, she just gave up on life. Duh! How did I not see that coming? Our chance to uncover the truth. Yeah, stimulate. If she's after his highness, she won't do anything. Yeah, sure. If she's after Tinasha, then she'll take some sort of action. Yep. But you did not account for Oliver just witnessing it firsthand. What was your plan? Did you not know that you were doing it in front of his fucking windows? Oliver is... You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of those, like... Is this a shoujo series? Give me a moment. I'm gonna have to legitimately look up if this counts as shoujo. Because this is such a fucking rotten shoujo plotline. Let's see. Adventure, fantasy, romance. Yeah. Witch, royal affairs. No, it's apparently fucking Yashke. Sure, very serene depictions of characters' daily lives. So fucking serene. But as I said, this is such a fucking 50 Shades of Grey plotline. Oh, he cares about me so much, he will bind me and chain me to a radiator in the fucking closet, and he will threaten to take what is rightfully his. Oh, I shudder at the thought. Right? It's this fucking plotline. I didn't bring you here to hand you over to another man. Well, first of all, she's not fucking your property. Since you don't understand, I'll teach you until you feel it in your bones. And then he's like, oh, it's just a prank, bro. I'm gonna stab you. I'm gonna stab you. I'm gonna stab you. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's just a prank, bro. I have no words. I have no fucking words. And then he's here comforting her. And she's being comforted by him. He just essentially bound her. Like, completely, because without her magic she might as well be completely bound. Then he threatened to rape her. Let's call things what the fuck they actually are. And then he's like, oh no, no baby, I was kidding. Haha, I would never do that to you. Is this an abusive relationship? Because it feels like one. Because it actually legitimately fucking feels like one. Him trying to control her, getting unreasonably jealous, then immediately apologizing, her falling for the apology. It's an abusive relationship. That's exactly what it is. And then they just completely gloss over it in a very tiki manner. Whoopsie doodles. And then he makes a proclamation. I don't fucking care about this country. If this woman cannot give me offspring, then this bloodline dies with me. Who the fuck would want this dude for a king? And then he immediately jumps into removing her from the position of a maid. Again, making the unreasonable assumption that she's up to something nefarious. Based on no proof whatsoever. And all this time, he had not taken off this handcuff. Because why would he, right? He already got her chained to the radiator. He brought her flowers and chocolate, so it's all fine now. He doesn't need to unchain her anymore. She looks like Shion from Hololive, I just noticed. I would have left you alone if you hadn't caught on. Caught on to something. Kumu's seal. What the fuck is Kumu? Being splashed with my blood had weakened your defensive barrier. Since when was that a thing? I'll need to fight with only my right eye. Since when is it a limitation? Man, so many new things happening here. He entrusted it to me. Yeah, what's his face? Als? Als, right? And yeah, I mean, it's a good idea to have the ultimate anti-magic fighter fight the magic user. Of course, it makes sense. Incinerate that which has formed by my hand. What exactly is Miralis's goal? What exactly was she trying to do? Kill Tinasha? No. Why? Kill Oscar? No. Why? Take over the country? No. Why? Was she after the runic red bull? But if so, why hasn't she gotten to it earlier? If so, why hasn't she explained her circumstances? Hey, yo, I heard you need strong magic users. I'm a strong magic user. And I also heard that you have a bowl. And I need to use that bowl to revive my loved one. I can, like, you know, work for you. And you let me use the bowl. We good? We good. We Gucci. Everybody gets what they need. Everybody gets what they want. Like, I understand if her first initial plan was to get into the castle, into the palace, pose as a maid, eventually gain access to the vault, steal the bowl for herself, yada yada, sure. But now that the jig is up, you say what you want. You don't try to kill the fucking crown prince. People are really acting so incredibly unreasonable in this show at times. And yeah, as Oscar fights, Tinasha is chanting. And she chants out a something. A black magic. I love this line though. I fucking love this line. It's such a cool line. Be rid of meaning and the world goes black. I love it. I love this moment. And the world goes black and nothing happens. I thought that maybe Tinasha captured Miralis into like pocket dimension or something. No, she just be rid of meaning. War. World goes black. What did you do? Oh, I let her escape. What was the point of turning the world black? Finally figured out where it is. Yeah, this is it. You'd never understand. I'll tell you now that I'm here. Yeah, please do. In the future, you'll be reunited with the delusion you've been searching for, so have fun suffering all by yourself. The little Miss Queen to be. What is your deal, Miralis? Oh, Valt. Sorry, not Als. Valt. Valt isn't even fucking listed on any list as a character. And then... So she gets captured. She sees the bowl that she was seeking. If only I had more power. And she gives up on life. She disappeared of her own will. What? What the fuck? Like, this is the thing you're looking for. Unless you have nefarious, designs, then why not just let yourself be captured, say, oh yeah, I need this bowl to revive my dear friend. Could you lend it to me? That's better. That's a better solution than just fucking dying. Especially since neither Oscar nor Tinasha know what the fuck that bowl is. So they probably wouldn't even mind all that much giving it to you, or at least lending it to you. It's like, I know, a kid being caught trying to steal some candy from a store and then throwing themselves off a fucking bridge. What? And now that your soul is gone, shattered, burned to cinders, what hope do you have now of doing whatever it was that you were trying to do? Or was it the bull's doing? Is Tinasha mistaken? Has the bull captured her soul? And then we're getting over it to, no problem. What was the orb? Yeah, I have no clue. My mother brought it. Wanna cuddle? Hell yeah, wanna cuddle. What? As the Abyss is Born. That's a cool title, at least. Oh, damn. What even was this episode? I'm sorry, I'm really having trouble finding words to talk about this episode because so much shit happened in such a short amount of time, and pretty much everything that happened has been treated like it doesn't matter. I think that's what gets me the most here. That so many things are treated like they don't matter. You know what I mean? Like, Oscar, the Crown Prince, going off searching for adventures, risking his life. Oh, that's like, whatever. That's just something he does. No biggie. He needs to have an heir, but he refuses to have an heir with anybody else but Tinasha. Oh, that's classic Oscar. He always gets what he wants, and he doesn't take no for an answer. Ha ha ha! Such classic of him. He threatens to rape Tinasha and chains her to a radiator, and then they have a nice, jolly old laugh about it. Miralis tries to do something, and then she fails, and I guess that's it. It didn't matter. We have a strange red ball. What is it? Oh, I don't fucking know. Something my mother bought. She was a hoarder. At the same time, though, at the same time, I really feel this like underlying greatness to it. I really get those glimpses of something that's genuinely and actually cool. The way magic works, right? Be rid of meaning. It's still such a fucking cool line and such a fucking cool effect. But then again, it didn't matter because Miralis was allowed to escape anyway. So why was the chant needed? Why was the black world needed? Why was any of that needed if she was allowed to escape anyway? Right? It didn't matter anyway. Then you have the underlying thing of, people who need to ensure that the timeline goes correctly. People, creatures, beings, whatever you want to call them, and that's an interesting plot line, but one of those people just fucking dies, and another of those people just gives up on life. So that went fucking nowhere. You have all those very cool things conceptually that would probably be really fucking cool if the presentation and the writing and the, I don't know, anything else was handled better. Right? If those things were actually fleshed out instead of just being discarded as it didn't matter in the end. I think a big issue here, I mean, I know for a fact that a big issue here is that this adaptation is skipping a metric fuck ton of content. And I think that's a big issue, not only because it's skipping so much, but also because it disturbs the perception of time. Right? That's actually an interesting topic, because I already encountered it a couple of times already. Can't remember which series it was. But basically, the idea is that if you have a fight in an anime, right? You have a fight in episode 7, and that fight ends in episode 7, then the perception of time is that the fight lasted an episode. It lasted 10, 15, 20 minutes, however long it was. That's the perception. Meanwhile, if you start that fight in episode 7 and end it in episode 8, the perception is that it lasted a week. Right? Or close to it. The perception of time changes. So if you tell stories very quickly, and even more densely, more often than in the span of a single episode, that is the perception of time for the viewer. The fact that Miralis has been shown as a maid in the previous episode and already brought into the fold, so to speak, in the previous episode alone, and in today's episode she was outed to be some sort of a traitor or something, and she was killed immediately, or died rather, it makes it feel like all of that happened within a week of like in-game time, even less. Instead of if it was stretched across maybe the entire season, for example, then it would feel like, oh yeah, Miralis is the maid, we got to spend some time with her, random Bob is infatuated with her a little bit, he's trying to flirt, she likes flowers, she makes really good coffee that Oscar really likes, yada yada yada. We build her as a character, and then something happens, it has an effect. Because holy shit, I really liked Miralis, and now she's turned out to have been a traitor? What? Meanwhile, from my perspective, as a viewer right now, she was a mysterious timeline keeper, then she became a maid who was brought into Oscar's inner fold, and now she's dead. And it happened very quickly. So the fact that they seem to be cutting a lot of content isn't bad only because it cuts content, which is obviously a bad thing, but also because it impairs the perception of time, right? It's already been apparently like what, half a year-ish, and we're not even halfway through the season. So how fast is the time progressing in the show? And we don't even really have an indication of it. That's also a thing, right? Very often when a show needs to showcase the passage of time, it uses seasons. It was very well done in Frieren, for example. As the seasons pass, episode 3 takes place in summer, episode 4 takes place in autumn, and you already know that there's been some time passing in the background. You know that it's not a direct continuation of what happened. You know that, right? There's been a lot of time. But here, we don't really get that perception of time. I don't think. Were the first episodes taking place in winter? I don't think they were. I might be mistaken here, but I don't think they were. Regardless, I very much like what this show has hiding underneath it. I very much like the timeline, potential timeline tomfactory, because, you know, we need to have some mysterious, elder, nameless creatures that are the timeline keepers. But at the same time, they are mortal. We have a mysterious person who started a mage country, who probably created Tinasha in some way or another, and he's hunting down those timeline keepers. What's he planning to do? Is he planning to destabilize the timeline, right? What's going on? We have mysterious artifacts, mysterious curses. All that shit is immensely appealing to me. And then you have Oscar behave like a rapist in an episode, and it just completely destroys that feeling. You know what I mean? It's very, very ambivalent, I guess you could say. I mean, I'm gonna continue watching it, like, no doubt about it, because I'm very much interested in all of the underlying stuff. I'm very much interested in learning more about the world, about the magic, about the timeline keepers, about all that jazz. I very much am. But at the same time, it's not like, you know, high entertainment, so to speak. It ain't no Frieren, I'm just gonna say. I mean, Frieren is already quite a hard bar? What? Quite a high bar, I wanted to say, so let's not compare it to Frieren, but, like, it's not... I don't know. It's not Helk or some other show that was also decent, but not, like, genre-defying. I think that's it. I think that's all I have to say on the topic. But maybe you guys have something more to add, and if so, say so in the comments down below. What did you think of this episode, my reaction, my theories, stuff like that? What did you think of this episode? Mainly, I'm curious to hear that. Again, in the comments. No spoilers though, please, I beg of you, no spoilers. If you do want to talk spoilers, you can do that in the Discord here, also linked in the description. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe to be notified of future videos, not only Unnamed Memory, but also Yuki Yuna, Sentai Daishikaku, Kaito Otome, Kaiju, Hachigo, Blue Archive, plenty others coming in the future. Click the bell to be notified of when I go live, because I do live go sometimes. And support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon down below, where for $10 a month you get early access to non-seasonal shows like Yuki Yuna, and for just $1 you get a role on the Discord and a place on credits. You can also support me directly on YouTube via membership, super thanks, super chats, and if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, you don't have to. Share my content, spread the word, it costs you absolutely nothing and helps the channel a lot. And now, with all of that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's my wonderful Patreons: QB, Without a Net, Watson, Zerina, Yukiala, Ishtamu, Dr. Wood, Akamanser, Marsh, Fassel, and Hans Peter. And you can join them if you want without having to chain anybody to a radiator.